And thanks for joining us back here at the Midwest Showdown presented by All Ohio Girls Basketball. We're just a few minutes away from tip-off. We're waiting on the officiating crew. We appreciate you joining us here on SUV TV. It's been a great weekend of Midwest Showdown coverage. I'm Marcus Burnett. Shortly I'll be joined by J.L. Hemingway and Brandon Clay of Peach State Basketball as we get ready to bring you some championship day action here from the Midwest Showdown. So we'll be back shortly for tip-off. And it looks like we're about ready to tip off here. Marcus Burnett joined by J.L. Hemingway and Brandon Clay. Fellas, we've got a great matchup here. All Ohio versus the Lady Gem Rats. Hemi, your thoughts on this matchup here early on?
Marcus, I'm excited for this matchup. We had a chance to watch Coach Riego's squad yesterday take on Midwest Elite. Just a fantastic game. They seem to be poised and ready, a well-oiled machine, just as you would expect from Coach Riego's squad. Coach Bethea, All Ohio, my first chance watching them this year, but as always, they're always stacked, ready to go. Should be a good one.
Great overview of the matchup in general. Brandon, give us your thoughts on some of the individual pieces that you're looking forward to watching here in this matchup.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think John hit it on the head in terms of yesterday watching Riego's team. Number 3, Tierra Murphy, ranked number 26 in the country by ProspectsNation.com. Already committed to go to Purdue. You know, her teammate here, club-wise, number 40, Laminia Cooper, had a great game yesterday. Really showed some of the versatility and the offensive skill that we've been looking for her. That's another kid that's inside the Elite 100 there by Prospects Nation. And then number 33, Darby Maggard. You know, is going to be the smallest player on the floor the majority of the game. But when I tell you she might be the best prospect pound for pound in the class, I mean that and stand behind it. She's great, skill set, runs whatever is needed, and is athletic enough to make any play that needs to get made on the floor.
Maggard, number 33 in the black jerseys for the Gem Rats. They're on defense here. Coach Bethea's All Ohio black team with the ball, currently trailing by 1. That shot's going to be out of bounds. It'll go back over to the Lady Gem Rats.
I tell you what, somebody that All Ohio is going to need to step up and play big today will be number 22, Sierra Rice. Grosse Pointe South there in Michigan. You know, another kid that is an Elite 100 caliber player. You know, she's got to show and prove on a stage like this that she can be impactful with her skill set. Got a chance last year to play along some of the country's best, and has got to prove now that she belongs in that group.
I agree 100% there, Brandon. Have had the chance to watch Rice several times over the past 12 months, dating all the way back to the Summer Invitational last year in Marietta, and then actually had a chance to watch her at the LBI Insider up in Michigan with her high school team. She's a kid that I've been very impressed with. Obviously, she's been really one of those glue players, a role player that played alongside of the likes of Kelsey Mitchell and Michael Johnson. Now's her time to really come out and show that she can be the leader of a team herself.
Maggard with the mid-range jumper. No good on the shot, but Murphy's going to get a second look at it.
Well, All Ohio can't let them get those second chance shots. They're not going to miss a lot of those. on the first chance. So you definitely don't want them getting 2 or 3 shots on goal per possession.
Rice off on the first attempt. It's going to be brought out of there by Cooper. Maggard going to set it back up for the Lady Gym Rats.
That's what you see that Cooper can do. She's a kid that not only can rebound, but she can also start the break too. A very versatile player, very good, going downhill in transition.
A steal, but unable to hit the shot there was Jelaya Moses. Here's Murphy the other way off the window. Good couple shots right out the gate for Murphy. Won't go down though.
Iron unkind there, Marcus.
Yeah, that rim is not giving them the home bounce here early on.
Really on both ends. Both teams have had some pretty good looks and they've just been rimming out. Probably a sign that both teams trying to get loose here in this early morning matchup.
All Ohio with it. Looking to go inside. The ball's going to be knocked out of bounds there by Gaines.
That's a nice little high-low action there that JB that they call from the sideline. You've got to make sure when you start to convert those types of plays, and you look at Valencia Myers, number 30 there, you can throw the ball up high for her and put it in her paw. Let that pass a little flat. You want to put it up high, put it in a spot where only she can get it, very much like your favorite quarterback, Drew Brees.
Nice. We've got a couple Purdue references here in this webcast. We'll take all the Purdue accolades we can get. Nice defense there along the baseline by Gaines. All Ohio working on the offensive glass. Looks like it's going to stay with them off of the Gym Rats.
You see what Rice can really do well from the guard position, rebound the basketball. Even on the offensive end, even though she didn't get that lay-in to fall, as she shoots this three, that's a big part of her game that we need to see. Her ability to knock down jumpers. That one was real clean, Brandon.
Hey, it was. It came out crisp and no hesitation either. Caught it, and this kid ain't gonna hesitate either. She can get a look.
R.B. Maggard with the mid-range J.
Off the right hand, shot fake. I mean, that's picture perfect. That's something like right out of a drill from We Work Hoops.
Hey, Christian Simmons with the shot out here on the microphone. But yeah, when you talk about a kid like Maggard, John, and going back to the Breeze reference, there's not a throw she can't make, so to speak. Whatever shot it is you need in the skill set arsenal, and then also the ability to distribute. You'll see Riego use a lot of the flat screen stuff in order to try to get them some clean looks, and she's just capable of making any play that needs to be made at any time.
And Hemi, you've been able to touch base on that as we see her knock down another one. You've been able to touch base on that during several broadcasts, with all of the classification that goes into, this star, this ranking, this height, things of that nature. It's nice to be able to just see kids that can flat out play when you get done with all of the different categories and pigeonholes per se.
That's a great point, Marcus, and I think Maggard really exemplifies that more than anything else. Although she may not project to be another great pass, right on cue. Although she may not project to be as high of a prospect as some of her teammates are, when you come out and you tip the ball, you want Maggard on your team because she's going to make plays, she's going to hit shots, she's going to make passes like that, she's going to be scrappy on the defensive end. So at the end of the day, you just throw the rankings out and you just play ball, and Maggard's going to be a kid that's going to win you games.
Give us a short synopsis of the recruiting landscape for Maggard at this point.
Well, I talked to Coach Riego yesterday, and he said that she's got a wide variety of interests across the mid-major landscape. Many BCS schools are peering in and looking. I think they want to take this July to really evaluate one last time. I think 2 big offers that are on the table for Maggard right now, of course, the University of Tennessee Martin, and also George Washington as well, too. Probably 2 of the more notable ones there. And Maggard, I think herself too wants to play out July and just see what happens.
Ready to see what happens here in the first half as we resume play. Sierra Hooks with the ball for All Ohio Black as they currently trail by 4. So trying to get the high-low working inside. Shots off. Here come the Gym Rats the other way.
That's a good move there by Myers. Those are the kind of shots, if you're All Ohio, you're going to have to get the fall, but those are great possessions early.
Able to make good on that assist by Sierra Rice. Number 30, Valencia Myers.
When you see Rice involved early in all facets, whether it be getting the ball up the floor, hitting that three early, one of the reasons why we keyed in on her, she really should be the go-to kid here on the perimeter today for All Ohio.
Interesting to see what Coach Bethay's doing here on the defensive end. Kind of playing an extended 2-3 zone. Coach Riego is, very well known for what he likes to call his three-man basketball that he plays right in the middle of the court. Brandon the flat screen and, putting two shooters in the corner. Coach Bethay right here he's just going to take that away and say, hey, you're not going to play three-man basketball. We're going to take the ball out of the hands of your guards, and we're going to make you play against the zone.
And honestly, given the production and the efficiency rate of this Gym Rats team, that's probably a really smart call there from Coach Bethay and his staff. I know Bryce Agler over there was talking to us yesterday. The son of Brian Agler, Seattle Storm WNBA head coach, wanting to make that adjustment early and not let them get into a rhythm offensively. Maggard, obviously with her skill set, and Murphy too, you're not going to stop them, but you do want to be able to contain their play and their production, and that's one way to do it.
And honestly, when you talk about an extended pressured zone defense, not necessarily where you're trapping, it's very difficult to game plan against because you can't really run sets against that type of defense. Good steal here in the full court press. Rather, what you have to do is you've got to swing the ball very quickly from side to side, but at the same time, it's not like a traditional zone where you can allow your shooters to find gaps and let them get their feet underneath them. So it's probably the bet, like Brandon said, probably the best bet game plan here for All Ohio against the Gym Rats.
They could possibly tie the game up here from the free throw line. Sierra Hooks good on the first free throw. Hooks out of Thurgood Marshall High School here in Ohio. She ties the game at 7.
This is exactly what you want. You see even the 2-2-1 extended three-quarter court deal here. It's just containment. They're not really trying to force a lot of turnovers. They just want to keep the Gym Rats off balance and out of, like you said, Hemingway, that three-man basketball, getting in that rhythm.
And we should mention to our viewers right here as Peyton Fallis launches that three from the corner. We do have a shot clock in this tournament. So, something like a soft 2-2-1 press is going to take seconds off of that shot clock. And so now by the time you get it into the half-court set, you're talking about 20 seconds left. So you've got to move pretty quickly after that. And I think the key word there is rhythm, keeping them off balance and not allowing them to get in that rhythm to get those easy looks from the perimeter.
The first free throw is knocked down by Michaela Cobb.
That's a good looking shot. I talked with J.B. Bethay about All Ohio earlier this week as he was preparing for the tournament. And one of the things he said is, this is very reminiscent of a team in 2010, that summer, with Raven Ferguson, who went on to Ohio State. The team was young. Obviously Sierra Rice is a junior, but the majority of these kids are 16, 17s. Even Myers is an 18. But this is going to be a team to be reckoned with for multiple summers. Very much like Riego did last summer, playing this group up, taking their lumps and bumps, and then putting themselves in a position to come back this summer and be one of the premier teams on the club circuit.
As we see the always active Sierra Rice get fouled there, should take a trip to the charity stripe.
Yeah, you make a great point there, Brandon. How often is it that you see a program, at any level for that matter, be able to graduate the likes of Kelsey Mitchell, Michaela Waterman, Catherine Westbeld, and then follow that right back up with another, killer class. It just doesn't happen all the time. There are these natural ebbs and flows that happen every year, whether you're talking about at the club circuit or even at the college level for that matter too.
No question. Well, and I think one of the things, and because he's been through it before, JB understanding the landscape of what was coming, obviously after the post-Kelsey Mitchell era, hey, we want to rebuild this thing young and put ourselves in the same position again 2-3 years down the road to be able to be, on that last day there, whether it be Nike Nationals, Peach State Summer Invitational, any of the tournaments they played in last year, and make sure they have an opportunity to win it all.
They're after it on defense here. There's all Ohio Black trying to dribble and make sense of it there. Number 14, Sydney Hall. She's going to be fouled on the play.
A good job there by Hall of keeping that play alive right there. A lesser player would have turned that ball over about 5 seconds ago, but she used back dribbles, spin dribbles, even split the trap and ended up drawing the foul.
Well, Hall's one of those kids, having the opportunity now to watch her for multiple years, growing her game, and I think in a lot of ways, trying to take even that next step with her game where she shows that, hey, not only am I a quality secondary option, but I can also play the point guard at the collegiate level, and that be my primary position. So I think a lot of what she's trying to do this summer is put herself in that position.
We've got a 10-7 ball game. That free throw off the mark for Hall. Sierra Rice with it, guarded by Cooper. Trying to knife through the defense. Layup won't go, but she's got reinforcements. Second attempt, no good. We've got a tie up for that one. Glad to watch it as opposed to being a part of it. Jump ball, position, going to send it to the Lady Gym Rats. Murphy with it.
Brandon, notice here, Coach Riego's only got 7 on the roster here today, missing a couple of pieces.
just a couple, man. When you talk about, Faith Suggs, top 30 in the country, and then also Lindsay Corsaro in the class behind her. Suggs, the 2015, already committed to go to Duke, was at the USA Trials. I had the opportunity to be in Colorado before coming here to be a part of the broadcast. Obviously played really well. Coach McCauley's getting a great energy player. I actually talked about her on ProspectsNation.com, Marcus and John, just the way that she played, her energy, and it seems like she's rejuvenated even now after making her school choice. And then Lindsay Corsaro, number 21 in 2016 in the newly released Elite 60, and has just had a heck of a run over the past 12 months. Long wing, like Suggs, just made her college commitment. She'll be going to play for Matthew Mitchell in Kentucky. So you add those two back, plus whatever other pieces they might pick up here in the process over the next month or so, and Danny Riego will be coaching one of the top teams in the country come July.
We've got a timeout here temporarily. I believe we had some water spill on the court.
A slight floor malfunction there.
Got to get that taken care of. We appreciate you joining us here on SUV TV for the Midwest Showdown coverage we provided over the past few days. We'll have 2 more webcasts after this one as well. The 11:45 a.m. one being the championship game, which will pit the winner of this matchup against the winner of Michigan Crossover and Havoc City Elite. Going to be some a lot of defense and athleticism in that game.
I'm peering in over there on court 2. Havoc City and Michigan Crossover currently playing, and it appears to be a blowout, 33-14 in favor of the home team. I hate to quote who's the home team and who's not. I'll send a runner over here real quickly so give us an idea who they'll be playing.
Sounds good, man. We've got 8 minutes, 18 seconds left to play here in the first half. As far as how they got here, the Rats defeated Midwest Elite Platinum by a score of 65-56. Here in Sunday action to get to this point, All Ohio Black defeated the Germantown, Maryland Lady Panthers. I believe we got an update on the Michigan Crossover Havoc City Elite game.
I think Michigan Crossover is leading that game over against Havoc City. So it looks like Michigan Crossover will be in the championship game here versus the winner of this game. Boy, this is serious stuff now. They've actually got the custodian out, got the mop here. This is never a good sign when those type of tools are being brought.
Give them credit for being thorough. Go ahead, and 9 times out of 10 is probably a sticky substance. So go ahead, take care of it so that once we get going, it's no longer an issue. But as far as Michigan crossover is concerned, saw a gutty performance in bracket play by their point guard, who had actually twisted her ankle, went out for a little bit, went to the training room, thought she was done. After about 10-15 minutes, she got back in the game and really helped will Michigan crossover to a victory.
It's another example to me in a lot of ways of just how hard these young ladies play. From time to time you'll hear people talk about, well, kids don't always play hard during the summer, and there's not any defense being played, and quite honestly, I can't co-sign on any of those statements because these girls come out here, they play hard, 3 days straight a lot of times, they'll play multiple games per day. You'll see kids go down with injuries and bounce back. You got to give credit where credit is due, and hats off to these young ladies on a Memorial Day weekend to come out here and play ball.
Well, I know you were talking about crossover. Just enjoyed watching them play yesterday. The effort. Inez Oliver, their program director, has done a great job. Kind of like JB Bethea with All Ohio. Crossover's been a staple of the circuit. And this particular event now for years been coming since 08, Marcus. And every single year you can count on All Ohio and crossover to deliver the heat.
As we might have a potential championship matchup between those two, but we've got plenty of time left in this one. I'm sure the Lady Gym Rats have something to say about that. So,
hey, as a sidebar, can we get a camera on Danny Rio right now? That might be the coolest coach in the country, man. Coaching in the game to play in the championship, feet across, arms across.
He's a Hoosier.
Hey, man. He's just chopping it up with his assistant Jeff Forsman. They're having a good time, man. Had a little meeting. Now they're over there, everything to say. He really is just chilling, waiting on the break to end, man. It's awesome.
Gotta love the Hoosiers, man. I can't tell you what one is, but I know he's the one. We've got a great matchup all around. We talked about Coach Riego, Coach Bethea doing a great job of transitioning this team from last year's squad led by Kelsey Mitchell, Waterman, Westbeld, and doing a great job kind of passing the torch, so to speak, to this squad. And it's been a busy weekend for you guys. I know, we've got you here at the Midwest Showdown, but kind of give us a recap on how the weekend's been overall.
Well, first of all, Marcus, spent my Saturday in Toledo, Ohio. Was up there at the Memorial Showdown USJN tournament up there. Actually had the chance to watch the Cincinnati Angels, who we saw back at the May Day Challenge. Took Team Elite all the way to overtime, and also got to catch up with a good friend of ours, Greg McNamara, in TNBA. So saw some good basketball up there on Saturday. Drove back Saturday night, and then I've spent this weekend here at the Midwest Showdown, hosted by All Ohio.
That was pretty good, man. I don't think my weekend's been that good. No, I had the opportunity, Marcus, like I talked about, to be out at USA Basketball for the U17 trials on Thursday, and then Friday as well. Was actually at the boys EYBL on Saturday there, the Nike event. Saw a ton of great players. For those of you who don't know, we also cover the boys side. We have a national scouting report. We also have a niche report, BrandonClayScouting.com, dealing mainly with freshmen and sophomores. And then we also have our Elite Basketball Academy camp. So all of you out there who have boys involved in the recruiting process, we're definitely your destination as well. Check us out, PeachStateBasketball.com.
Boy, the mantra, any gym is home, has never been more true than in that scenario, fellas. Making it her home there is also number 14, Hall, for the Lady Gym Rats. She's got the front end of a potential three-point play the hard way.
And to finish that thought, Marcus, if you can play basketball, it's going to be pretty hard to hide from us.
Yeah, hey, we're gonna catch you at some point. We had a discussion this morning, actually, in the hotel prepping to come over here, talking about a couple of fellas that have kind of evaded us, and we were both like, we're going to chase them down. We're going to make sure we see those guys, man.
10-10 ball game, as All Ohio has been able to chase down the modest lead held by the Gym Rats. No soup along the baseline there by the Gym Rat defense. And here comes Cooper the other way. A little too strong off the window, out to Murphy. Murphy's played within the team, but look for her to be more aggressive over the next couple minutes.
I thought it was the second half yesterday in which she kind of got rolling. Hit a three, hit a couple of jumpers there. You know, really in the first half, just kind of played a part. Great rebound and finish there by Victoria Gaines, Michigan State commit. Definitely don't want to leave her out as we talk about the Gym Rats roster. You know, she's a player, goes by the nickname Coco, and is really, in a lot of ways, that prototypical four-player. You know, Riego could play her some in the interior as they go with that small ball, a la the Miami Heat that made that so popular. You know, it's interesting. A lot of people have talked about the depth of small ball, but when you've got a kid like Gaines on the inside, the rebound, very similar in terms of traits to a guy like Chris Bosch, man, will grab it, rebound it, can step out, can hit the jumper, a lot of those different things that allow small ball to stay alive.
10-12 ball game. All Ohio with it. Strong take inside.
Yeah, no reason to put the gravestone up yet. RIP to small ball quite yet. I think as the game of basketball continues to evolve, and you see that American basketball adopts pieces from overseas with the European game, especially with the face-up four players, and you know, even moving your post player, you know, away from the hoop and allowing different people to, you know, move in and out of the post area. I think the ability of kids to be versatile in that area, not just play on the perimeter and not just play in the post. A kid like Gaines is going to allow, you know, that small ball to continue to be a legitimate option.
No question.
Murphy, tightrope on the sidelines, gets to Fallis. Now it's in the hands of Maggart. Tied up at 12 here. 6:17 and counting left to play here in the first half.
It's interesting. One of the things that Coach Riego talks a lot about is wanting to let his kids play early. You know, you're watching them right now, just kind of watch, taking the game in. Not a lot of set stuff, not a lot of overload, not going into the bag of tricks too early. The second half, I think if J.B. Bethea and his group stay in that zone defense, you'll see more and more called sets. I know we looked at this yesterday with a couple of calls directly. Hey, this one's for you, Jonathan Hemingway. You know, Riego stealing from CoachHemmy.com to get a couple of baskets. Don't be surprised to see that in the second half.
We get the bucket there inside by number 31 for All Ohio Black. Gaines going to get it over to Fallis now. Back to Murphy. In the passing lane there, Sierra Hooks gets the steal. Layup drill on the other end.
Now, right now, the Gym Rats are just making some uncharacteristic mistakes, throwing the ball into the passing lanes, allowing All Ohio to get deflections and steals, things that we don't normally see out of this group of kids.
12-18 ball game as a result. Maggart over to Murphy. Good look for her. Splash.
You're not going to go long without her making some shots. I actually just sent a post out there on Twitter, you know, telling people to tune in and watch this game because she's here, and right on cue responds with that big three from the wing.
That three makes it a 15-18 ball game. We see Hooks with the scoop shot. It's no good. Fallis ahead to Murphy. She's got the last five for the Lady Gym Rats.
I tell you what, though, I love how hard All Ohio's playing, trying to attack the rim, trying to force the Gym Rats team with only 7 to play here early. All Ohio with 9 is going to have that advantage in terms of the numbers.
Hooks with it. All Ohio being patient. They've got 1 second left on the shot clock. I don't think they know it.
They sure didn't. Shot clock violation there. And I think it's interesting to note, John, that, you know, Coach Riego, they have a 6-0 run go the opposite way. Most people are calling timeout, especially in a game like this. He didn't stand up. He didn't change anything. Literally with his hand, kind of pushed it down. And, you know, I think that's the cool thing about having a veteran team. I think if it goes the other way, a 6-0 quick spurt like that on a couple of bad passes, that this year J.B. Bethea has to call timeout, where last year Riego has to take the timeout, and J.B. Bethea could have let Kelsey Mitchell and that group play through it.
Yeah, that's an excellent point there, and exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, the fact that he's just kind of cooling right now, just kind of chilling out. he's got confidence in these players, and it's not a fake confidence. You know, he's coached them for several years now. They've demonstrated what they can do, and he knows that, hey, these things kind of come and go. Just stay the course. No need to panic. Allow these kids to make plays. They're certainly proven veterans in that way.
You see Hooks trying to crank up the defense there. He's going to get called for the foul. That'll be a fun dynamic to watch. Murphy versus Hooks. As Hooks trying to step up to the plate and defend a very talented player here on the offensive side of things.
Well, this is a big proving ground for Hooks. You know, that's a kid that we've watched and really like her athleticism, like her frame, some of the things that she brings to the table. And she's getting a chance today between Maggard and Murphy to go up against some kids who are very highly touted, and we've talked about a good bit. Even Sydney Hall is going to IUPUI as Hooks get her hands on another pass there.
6 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Maggard gets that one off, and we're going to have a foul there. Loose ball. Looks like it's going to go against number 23 for All Ohio, Jelia Moses. One-point ball game. Lead for All Ohio. Murphy with a lot of room over there, just short on the jumper. And All Ohio will bring it the other way.
Shout outs to Scott Johnson, West Virginia Thunder. We'll have the opportunity to watch them next at 10:30, man. Does a heck of a job with the program.
Maggard steps
That's
in.
that patented. Boy, it is so hard. I don't think that our viewers can really comprehend sometimes, unless you really play this game and you're really a student, how hard it is to make that shot coming off of your strong hand consistently and then come down on the other end and force a very good player in Hooks into a turnover on the high screen.
Yeah, she caught that with her momentum going left, gained her balance with a little shot fake. Defender kind of, lunges past her, puts it on the floor, one drill, in balance, in rhythm, knocks it down, cold-blooded.
Perfect reaction to the closeout there from the All-Ohio defender.
Notice what the Gym Rats are doing here, starting to set that high ball screen against the zone. I really like what they're doing and creating an overload on the weak side. So you've got a shooter over there on the wing, and then you've got a post player and even another shooter over there in the corner. Good strategy there by Coach Riego.
What a play there by Gaines. I mean, to catch that basketball, finish with two kids literally draped on her shoulders, and going back to that whole, air quote, small ball reference. Well, now they've changed to look at their team again, inserting Indiana commit Darby Forsen back into the game. Gaines moves to the 4, and now all of a sudden you've got Indiana and Michigan State on both sides of the block for you. Somebody's going to be open for the offensive rebound, and that's another case of it right there.
Brandon, you highlighted it early in the game. If you're All Ohio, you cannot afford to give up those offensive rebounds. 3 offensive rebounds in 1 possession there for the Lady Gym Rats.
And they're just too talented. You give them those types of opportunities, going to score. That second or third time, they are going to score. You look at the way they've scored so far, kind of diverse. You've got Gaines who's chipped in, Maggard with those pull-ups off the right hand, Murphy with the 3 on the wing and the layup in transition. So they're starting to kind of get it rolling offensively. And if you're JB Bethea, that's the last thing you want going into halftime is to dig yourself a hole.
They currently trail by 4. Hooks with it up top, guarded by Maggard. Turns the corner, gets it to go off the window.
Good floater there and a good use of the dribble, creating that space to use the ball screen. Not very good ball screen defense there as they allow Hooks to get into the middle of the lane and finish that floater. Now watch here. Here comes the ball screen. They're going to jump it. They're going to create the angle there. Nothing there. Good defense by All Ohio.
Sure was, wasn't it? I like how, like you talked about with Riego, now they got the baseline runner reinforcement. Yep. Gaines found it there, and now all of a sudden you're really starting to stretch that All-Ohio defense. And it leaves somebody open on the backside. We've got to talk about Cooper here and her ability to be that third rebounder. She's a great rebounder, a specialist even in that way from the 3 position. So when you've got Forsman, Gaines, and Cooper but you're getting that type of movement, Marcus, with the baseline runner. There's always going to be somebody unaccounted for in the zone, which is in theory why you like to play man. Everybody's accounted for on the box out, and that's the only problem when a team like, the Gym Rats gets rolling offensively, is that there's nobody to account for that third rebounder.
Yeah, especially when they're trapping the wing as hard as that they are. You know, you trap to make them make the extra pass or even create a turnover, but the weakness of trapping in that situation is there's not going to be enough numbers on the weak side like you're talking about to rebound.
As we are approaching the final 30 seconds or so here of the first half. Well work inside there by number 30 for All-Ohio Black, Valencia Myers.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing from Myers here, young post player. Stepping up big on the big stage here. Creating that mismatch opportunity and being able to score on Maggard there.
Well, she saw some touch around the rim. You know, a lot of times you get kids, you know, that early, they can even make the catch, but they struggle to convert the play, especially if there's a little contact. Shoot out of bounds. They're going to get him. Yep. That back foot was kind of dragging the line. I don't know that it got down, but it looked like it did. Referee right on top of that one there. You don't say that very much, do you, John? Referee right on top of the call there, man.
Yeah, I don't say that too often.
Hey, he did a good job there, man. We got to commend him where we can. Great call there by the official.
Hey, good job. Good job.
That pains you to say. I love it.
We got 6 seconds left to play here in this first half. Yeah, I tell you, man, I couldn't be an official, man. It's the toughest job in the building, man.
Thankless. Thankless. So I thank him. I thank him for being right there on top of that one, man. Great job here by Danny Riego to know the foul count, know they've got fouls to give. Even forcing the ball back into the backcourt right there.
Yeah, you see Coach Riego kind of come to life here.
Yeah. Hey, this guy lives for these moments, though. He lives for these end-of-half special situations. You saw him light up yesterday to get him a play at the half.
He made the last 6 seconds difficult. And we thought Hooks had a buzzer beater there. Riego was on top of it saying, hey, it shouldn't count.
Hey, and for the second time in 5 seconds, so is the official.
That's great, guys. That's really great.
We're gonna take a short break. We'll be back to bring you the second half. All Ohio versus the Lady Gym Rats here at the Midwest Showdown.
Teamed up with Better Basketball to create Coach Fit, a workout program designed specifically for coaches to stay fit during the basketball season. Each workout can be done in 15 minutes, followed in real time on any smartphone, tablet, or laptop, performed right on the court before or after practice, completed with minimal equipment, and can be utilized by your entire staff.
Are you hanging in there? Come on, man. Come on, stay with me, guys. Your whole staff should be doing this right now. Make your team better.
For coaches that travel, we've developed workouts you can do in your hotel room or in your hotel fitness center.
Most coaches, they gain weight. They get out of shape during the season. We're not going to do that. We're going to get in great shape. We're going to get in the best shape of our life this season.
Are you ready to look better, feel better, and coach better this season? Sign up today at betterbasketballtribe.com/coachfit.
And we're ready to get back to the action. Second half underway here in this Elite Division semifinal. The Lady Gym Rats versus All Ohio Black. We've got a 1-point advantage here for the Lady Gym Rats here to open the second half. Tiara Murphy, the Purdue commit, with the ball. She's going to get it over to a fellow Purdue commit in Cooper. Now this is Maggard. Good contest there by Rice.
Second chance points, Marcus. Second chance points, man.
Really witnessing sort of like a battle of attrition on the boards by the Lady Gym Rats. All Ohio doing a pretty good job keeping them off of the offensive glass for the majority of the first half, but we saw that kind of unravel a little bit as the first half ended. And we see Gaines being aggressive on the glass here to start the second.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I don't put a lot of stock in myself as a person in that regard, but one of the things we do talk about is talent and consistency is evident. So when you watch Cooper and Gaines and Forsman for years, you know what they're capable of doing in a certain game. And you're starting to see that continue to come to light here as the game goes along. As you watch Forsman take that jumper, you know, you're watching three kids who all rebounded the basketball pretty well, So at some point, it's just kind of what they do. And knowing that All Ohio's front line is young, this is a great matchup for them. This is a great matchup and a great time right now for a kid like Myers to show and prove not only that she belongs in this game, but over the course of the next 2 or 3 years, she's going to have an opportunity to be one of those kids.
We see Gaines block a shot there and get it ahead to Maggard.
Well, in a lot of ways, Gaines is really starting to import her will here on the both sides of the floor. You know, whether it be offensively, you see her posting now. Once again, Forsman. I mean, they just have so many proven weapons that can get you at any given time.
Cooper kicks it out to Maggard.
Look at that. Look at that. You want it off the left hand, I got it off the left hand, man. You want it off the right hand, I got it off the right hand. Most kids who shoot the basketball as well as Darby Maggard force the issue on that three-pointer, Marcus. They force it. They catch it, it's not clean. They don't give you the shot they can go. They still try to force the jumper, not Maggard.
I think she does a great job of being aggressive on the catch, whether it's the shot fake or whether it's catching it and immediately turning the corner. She's already got the defender at a loss.
Well, kids like that do such a good job of reading the defender's feet on the closeout. Is she going to give me the space I need to go ahead and knock this jumper down? What is coming right here for me? And then knowing that before the ball even arrives in your hands and making a play. Now, remember what I said in the first half about using timeouts. Riego with the veteran team didn't have to use a timeout for the run earlier. J.B. Bethea with the younger team had to use the timeout here to stop this run.
Yeah, great observation is Coach Bethea touching base with this squad. They trail by 7, 13:52. Left to play in this one. We look at the score for the other semifinal. It's a 57-39 advantage for a Michigan crossover.
Well, crossover's tough, man, with Civilian, with Peace, some of the different weapons that they have. We'll look forward, obviously, to be able to get them over here. It looks like they're gonna hold on. There's still plenty of time left, over 7 minutes, but right now in the driver's seat, man, and they'll be playing the winner of this game, so we'll have the opportunity to talk about them here in a couple of hours.
As we're ready to resume play, Sierra Rice, the inbounder for All Ohio. They try to cut into this 7-point deficit. We're going to see a little bit of switching up of the defense here by the Lady Gym Rats out of that timeout.
Well, and that's a vet move there coaching-wise. Obviously, Coach Bethea was making adjustments for how the Gym Rats were playing in the man. So now what do? They come out in the zone, and they force the shot clock violation. Before they can get the ball to the open backside, time runs out.
Nice defense there by the Lady Gym Rats, and I think that the shot clock helps in that regard as far as making, from an awareness standpoint, and just being able to know, even when the defense turns up, how much time you have left on the shot clock. All Ohio kind of forgot about its existence there on that possession.
Well, I tell you what, the Gym Rats have been able to feed Gaines on the interior there really half of the last 10 minutes. And if they can get her a post touch at 8 to 10 feet more times than not, it creates so much space now that you get Tierra Murphy and Darby Maggard on consecutive offensive possessions with the dribble drive right to the middle of the floor and a little Tony Parker teardrop, man.
That guard play getting it done there for the Gym Rats. Nice defense by Maggard.
Well, once again, credit Gaines. You know, Gaines' effectiveness and production has opened the lane up, very similar to Tim Duncan when he's on for the Spurs. It makes the game easier for Parker and Ginobili.
As Unique Connor knocks down that jumper, bringing all Ohio to within 7 points. Cooper gonna kick it over to Forsman. Forsman, a little too strong on the three. Murphy in there amongst the trees rebounding.
Gets 2 of them, missed the first one and gets another one.
Pass intended there for Forsman.
Good look, she wasn't prepared. She was cutting through right to the baseline, waiting on the ball to get reversed there, but Maggard with a nice look, just wasn't able to complete the play.
Key substitution back into the game for All Ohio Black, number 1, Sierra Hooks. Brandon, give us your thoughts on Hooks.
Well, I love Hooks. Like we talked about yesterday as we were setting the stage for this matchup, I spent some time, about a half of basketball with Bryce Agler. He talked about Hooks had been playing on the 9th grade team and actually had been promoted now to playing with the black team. And you can see why. You know, once again, go ahead and putting yourself in a position where long term, this is your point guard of the future, the same way Riego did last year with Tierra Murphy. I'm going to take my bumps a little bit, especially in some of the league play and the games they're playing in. But let's go ahead and get established and get ready for the long term. Hook's definitely the point guard of the future, and it was a great move for JB Bethea Agler and their crew to go ahead and move her up here to the black team.
First free throw. Count it for Connor.
That's a nice looking shot there with the short corner jumper that she just hit. Also with the free throw right here, you know, for a kid that can play, you know, on the interior, can play that 4, showing some range there to be able to do some of the things like the Victoria Gaines is doing in terms of the versatile skill set. I really like what Unique kind of brings to the game.
Looks like we're going to have a lane violation there on the second free throw.
That's tough. Well, you can't afford to be giving points back. She made the free throw. You cannot afford in this type of game to give any points back or leave anything on the table, Marcus.
Is this still a 6-point advantage? Gaines to Forsman.
Oh, that's tough. Boy, that's tough.
You got Maggard there directing traffic, helping set that up, gets the pass ahead, and then you got players like Gaines that are able to make the touch pass and the finish there by Forsman.
Well, the unselfishness on both teams. I mean, I can't tell you, as Rice makes a great one more pass there to Hooks, I can't tell you that I've seen 4 possessions in this game where I'm like, that's a bad shot. You know, you're watching quality shots. Whether they go in or not isn't necessarily the topic of discussion. It's the fact that they're arriving at a quality shot on almost every possession in which you get a shot on goal. That's great basketball both ways.
What we've been able to get this entire weekend from the Elite Division at the Midwest Showdown. Rebound there by Myers. Now Hooks has it. All Ohio within 5. Hooks going to get it over to Myers. That baby jumper knocked down.
Good shot.
Jaliyah Moses with the bucket. 3-point ball game. Forsman gets it to Murphy. Stop and pop.
And one. And one. Boy. Oh. So skilled. And once again, we talk about the ball movement there. That's another example of the ball movement. You find Murphy right in the middle of the floor. She's able to catch it. And her ability and Maggard's ability to hit those shots, and Cooper did this yesterday, to hit those shots, Marcus, between the 10-foot and the 15-foot mark, really makes it hard for you to defend them, because those are the types of shots that you're going to get most of the time as a guard. When you can shoot over 50% from the field in that area, that kill zone area, it's tough for people to be able to stop you.
We see the EBA Super 64 camper knock down that free throw. 6-point ball game in favor of the Lady Gym Rats. Hooks over to Rice. Rice going to try another 3-pointer. Can't get her second one of the game there. Rebounded by Cooper. She's not wasting any time. Gonna try mid-range of her own. No good. Another rebound inside there for Myers.
Well, that's a shot that, if you're Cooper, you got to be able to take that. Like I said, she hit a couple of those yesterday, and that's a facet of her game where she's really improved over the past year.
Myers steps out, showing now she can knock down the Udonis Haslam baseline, Jay.
It's amazing how he's made that thing famous, man. He comes in, he literally takes a single type of shot, but does a heck of a job of knocking that down and being really efficient with it.
4-point ball game. Hooks was determined to drive that one. Too strong. The referee's going to say last touch by All Ohio. Ball back over to the Lady Gym Rats.
Well, and that's a tough shot there. They actually got them with the dead ball foul. A push there. Fowlis had gotten position on the defensive glass, and they called, I can't tell who they got, but they got somebody with a push in the back there.
Coach Bethea wants an explanation.
He comes halfway on the floor looking for that explanation.
Ball back out top. Here's Hill. Ten to work with on the shot clock for the Gym Rats. Hall going to get it over.
Oh, good skip. That's a great skip pass there from Fowlis over there to Murphy. They're not able to convert the shot, but those are the types of plays I was talking about, just the unselfishness. Look at that. They get two really unselfish plays. Now, neither one of them works for a conversion on a basket, but twice on the same play, Fowlis to Murphy with the skip, and then Murphy out to Hall in the corner. They give up what would be okay shots for really, really good shots.
Fun team to watch. It was great to get some bonus coverage of their victory, Lady Gym Rats' victory over Midwest Elite Platinum, a game where both you and Hemingway were courtside, where they used that same sort of basketball to be able to get over a worthy opponent there.
Well, you talk about Midwest Elite, Haley Gorecki, ranked number 31 in the country by Prospects Nation, already committed to Duke. What a move there by Murphy. Good defense there by Hooks, though, to be all on top of that. But Gorecki does a lot of the things that you're seeing Hooks and Murphy do in terms of getting downhill, making the game easier for her teammates. She's an elite distributor and showed that she can finish it going either way off of the contact, which was impressive. Had not seen that, and she now is every bit of 5'11". I talked to her for a little bit after the game, and Joanne McCauley and her team getting a great player in Haley Gorecki.
We got a strong side there by Valencia Myers. She's fouled and will go to the line and shoot too.
She's having a really good day. To be playing in this type of game, against three really high-level kids on the front court line there for the Gym Rats. Myers showing a lot of what we project her to be long-term. And one of the reasons why J.B. Bethea, when I talked to him, even back in the late winter, early spring about this year's roster, was so excited, was having a chance to be able to coach Myers and coach a kid with that size this early, mold her, develop her into one of the premier post prospects in the class before it's all over.
As Myers misses the second free throw, but is going to stay with All Ohio, so they have a chance to make up for those.
Well, it's interesting. Myers' build reminds me of a kid that we've got in the Elite 60 in 2016, and Erica Cassell. You mentioned Team Elite Pointer earlier, and Myers gives you that type of feel of a young Cassell. Good touch, skill around the basket, does a little bit of everything. Maybe not a specialist in any one area, but plays the game hard and with good size.
All Ohio has it, Hooks up top. Still plenty of time left on the shot clock. Hooks going to try a three-pointer. Sierra Rice doing what she does inside. Her putback attempt won't go. Here comes Maggart the other way.
Well, and when Spisto is a little bit smaller, taking out Forsman, that's a great time for All Ohio to be able to get those types of offensive rebounds. They've got to convert those chip shots. That's a great shot down here on the other end by Sydney Hall, Marcus.
Well, these Lady Gym Rats, they do a great job of selling that shot fake and then doing the damage from there.
Well, when you look at this team, to be getting the type of commitment that Danny Rago gets, where 5 of his 7, Fowlis and Maggart, the only 2 notwithstanding, are already committed to schools. A lot of times people will, talk about with a connotation of club basketball, the kids don't want to play hard once they commit. I think part of that has to do with the discipline and the organization of the program itself. You know, Riego does a great job, and now Suggs and Corsall are also committed. So you're looking at 7 of 9 kids on arguably one of the best teams in the country have already chosen a school, but they're still out here competing on Memorial Day. They could be at home getting ready for the cookout or for the parade. They're out here playing their behinds off, man.
Great point. As we're going to have a substitution in for All Ohio Black into the game, number 2, Chantel Bostic. Gains to Cooper. Cooper.
We talked about the expanded range, and you can tell one of the things that I like is when you watch a coach like J.B. Bethea or Danny Riego, and a kid takes a shot, and there's no negative reaction, like, what are you doing? You know that the kid has hit that shot.
Yeah.
So even though Cooper hasn't been hitting, there's never been a moment in which Riego was looking at her like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Which lets you know that he's completely comfortable with her taking the shot she's been taking, and she was due to hit one.
Her most an 8-point advantage now.
Hooks ran into a brick wall. That's a tough call. I know Gaines is like, really, man? I stood in there, took that hit, and then I get the foul call. That's not right.
Exactly. Hook's going to go to the free throw line. Gaines just stood there, took the contact, didn't really feel it until the foul was called. The adrenaline wore off a little bit, and it was like, oh, man. She ran full speed right into me. Nice defense there. Unfortunately, still going to pick up the foul. First free throw missed by Hooks. As we're going to have a timeout here. So we'll take a short break as well. When we get back, we'll bring you more second half action here from the Midwest Showdown. And welcome back here to Porch for Sports, Midwest Showdown. Semi-final action here from the Elite Division. The Indy Lady Gym Rats lead by a score of 40-32 here. Sierra Hooks at the free throw line. And that will bring All Ohio to within 7 points.
Good move there by Fowlis. I like her taking the basketball to the hole, being aggressive, gets that bump. 2015 guard. She actually came down Super 64 camp last year in June. That's a prospect who had the opportunity to get to Indianapolis. It's about a year ago. Spent a full day up there during the high school season. Got by her school. She plays alongside Sydney Hall, Darby Forsman at high school at Heritage Christian. And that honestly was my introduction to her and her game, and since then I've seen her about 5 times. Her ability to make shots, well, one of the things that she's talked about adding was both strength. She definitely has filled out and gotten bigger. And the ability to create it a little bit off the bounce right there, draw the foul and get to the free throw line, Marcus.
Second free throw bounces around. Gonna rebound it there by Connor. Hooks, that pass nearly stolen. Second one is taken away by Fallis. Come the Lady Gym Rats the other way. Fallis to Hall. So that'll send Sydney Hall to the free throw line here. That foul gonna go against Sierra Hooks. We've got the ultimate cat and mouse game here as the Lady Gym Rats not really able to extend this lead to double digits. All Ohio right there staying within 6 to 8 points, but not really able to close the gap up to this point. Hall's second free throw. Doesn't get the roll. Here comes Hooks the other way. That pass intended for number 20, Michaela Cobb, knocked out of bounds by Gaines. Seen a lot of three-pointers over the past couple minutes by All Ohio. Trying to give themselves some momentum here on the offensive end.
Well, they're going to need a run here. You know, down 9 with just over 5 to go. They need to put themselves in a position, whether it's Hooks, Myers, Rice, when she checks back into this game, to put themselves in a position to be able to make a run.
That ball is going to be knocked out of bounds. Murphy to Gaines. Gaines ahead to Hall. Three-pointer on the way. Count it.
Sid Hall is playing really well. I thought that she played well yesterday. She wasn't converting shots, but played well. Young kids out there listening, there is a huge difference in not playing well and not converting shots. She always plays so hard, and at times, honestly, you could play a little too hard trying to make positive things happen when your shots aren't falling. Hall's done a great job of rebounding here today and has given us a signature Sydney Hall performance.
Her three-pointer makes it a double-digit deficit here in this one. Strong move inside to finish. Number 20, Michaela Cobb. Felt she had a mouse in the house and moved accordingly.
I love the reference there. And then once again, what you said about moving accordingly, understanding the matchup, being able to see it, recognize it, and most importantly, take advantage of it to score.
That conversion makes it a 10-point ball game. Coach Bethea trying to rally the troops. You talk about the youth of this team, how they're going to be able to, take their lump, so to speak, this year and really be able to use that experience moving forward. But they've been right here on the doorstep of this game throughout. Just have to give credit to the Lady Gym Rats and just, how tight of a ship that they run when you look at, Maggard leading the effort and just a solid team overall.
Well, and the versatility, you talk about Murphy's couple of buckets here, the little Tony Parker teardrop right after Maggard's pull up. Fallis getting to the line for the free throw. Hall hits the 3. Gaines gets the offensive rebound on the putback. Forsman hits that little kiss from the left side. Cooper hits the 18-footer. I mean, you literally can go back through a 5-minute stretch of gameplay and to think about each one of their 7 kids and all of them that produced and contributed to help them get ahead by 10 here.
We're back from the timeout. All Ohio trying to create some turnovers here. But the Lady Gym Rats not really cooperating on that note. Get it over to Murphy. Now Maggard with it. Sierra Rice, number 22, now back in the game for All Ohio. Talk about the spark plug that she can serve as. Nice job out of the timeout there as we get a 24 second. Too much NBA playoffs for me, man. I apologize.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that this time of year. I think we can all agree with that. It's cool, man.
Nice sequence there. They forced a 30-second shot clock violation on one end, come back and get a bucket on the other. All Ohio pulls to within 8.
Oh, good swing here. Good decision by Hall not to take the 3. Find Cooper for a short chip that goes in. The unselfishness continues here, Marcus.
Hooks brings it the other way. They had gotten the lead back down to single digits, back out to 10 after that bucket.
Oh, good move there down the lane with the finish. That's tough, cutting the lead back to 8. They're keeping this thing right here in single digits, Marcus.
That was Chantel Bostic with the bucket.
That's a good play. She comes in, brings good size, energy to the guard position. You know, able to play kind of off the ball with Hooks man in the 1. I really like what she's brought here during the course of this game and her time coming off the bench.
As the lead is 8 for the Lady Gym Rats. Maggart using the screen. She's going to get it over to Murphy.
Tough shot there. Now, we talk about shots, and obviously the shot clock was winding down. So in a lot of ways, in terms of the possession itself, you're forced into that shot. You can't call that a bad shot. You want to get some kind of shot up, even if it's not a great look. But this late in the game, the execution, you've got to have execution if you're the Gym Rats and all Ohio on the other end, where you're not putting yourself in those under 5 situations.
Yeah.
Where that shot clock gets under 5 and you're rushed to take a shot.
Coach Bethea beside himself right now. They had a shot clock violation there. And he is not happy with all Ohio not having the ball. Not sure whether they say it was a foul. I didn't see what the call was. I just know that there was a 30-second shot clock violation.
JB Bethea giving him quite a large piece of his mind right here. A former professional player, actually played overseas for years, and word around town, honestly, is that he's a legend in terms of a guy that could really put the ball in the basket. So no stranger to knowing the rules and the rule book, and he's not happy right now.
Yeah. Well, we're back to the action. Indy Lady Gym Rats taking possession. And Maggart, that pass looked like they were going to kind of run a, thought we had a Team Tennessee Springer and, Chastity Carter sighting there.
Hey, put that thing in the air and let young Chastity Carter go get it, man. What a great spring she's had. An elite 25 prospect, made the USA team, was actually out in Colorado awaiting word for who's on the team this year at the U17 level. But Carter's had a great spring. They could have used her there, man.
That's Hooks. Gonna turn that one over. Gaines gets it ahead to Cooper.
Oh, great finish in the open floor there with the body right in front of her. Doesn't matter. Laminia Cooper with the big top finish. That'll make Sharon Versup and newly named associate head coach Nadine happy, as well as yourself, a Purdue guy, man.
As Coach Bethea gets that timeout. But Coach, make no mistake, Coach still not happy about a couple calls he feel like should be going his way over the past couple minutes.
Hey, he leaves the timeout in the hands of his capable assistants and immediately goes to plead his case with the officials. This is why I love JB Bethea. You see Bryce Zagler kind of waiting for his time. Do I need to go get him now? I'm just going to let him rant and rave. We'll go ahead and worry about our kids here in the huddle.
And like you said, just giving his basketball track record, his knowledge of the game. Usually if he's that upset, it's usually something legitimate about it.
Well, the thing I like about all these guys, him and then Danny, is one piece, and then they're going to go back. And he's still mad, but he didn't take it to a level where it was disruptive to the game.
Yeah.
He wasn't derogatory toward the ref. Literally just expressed his displeasure with what's happened, knowing that he needs all the assistance he can get down 10 late.
As Hooks with the ball for all Ohio. Time continues to tick away. Being able to score with the clock being stagnant is always a good thing, and Sierra Hook's going to draw the foul there and have a chance to do so here at the charity strike. We'll have the championship game here from the Elite Division bracket coming up at 11:45. As Hooks knocks down the first free throw.
just got word here. Kyle Moore, our International Director of Scouting, has released the USA U17 team. You got Cooper, Lauren Cox, Enrique Ugumawale, Katie Lou Samuelson, Joyner Holmes, Asia Durr, Christina Nigwe, Anna Wilson, Nancy Malkin, Dejanay Boykin, Natalie Chow, and Kennedy Burke out of California, rounding out the 12-man team. I do know that Crystal Dangerfield from Tennessee, who was on last year's team, who Kyle does not have mentioned for this year's, was at the U18 tryouts last night. Those are still going on today, so she very well could wind up playing with the U18 FIBA's America team, even though it doesn't look like she's on the initial list for the 17 group.
Appreciate that. Always there and around it, in the thick of it. Team PSB can appreciate that. Kyle Moore, Chris Hansen, and those guys. Thanks for that update. Back to this game, it's an 8-point deficit as time continues to run out here for All Ohio Black.
This has been a really good game. You know, obviously a little fragmented there early in the first 5 minutes as everybody kind of found their way. But you look at what's happened over the course of the last, great move there by Hooks. What's happened over the course of the last 20 minutes of gameplay, dating back to that late stretch in the first and all of the second half. And you've seen plays like that. Hooks takes it right at a kid in the top 50, 60 in the country in Darby Forsman with no fear, giving up 6 inches, finds a way not only to finish it, but to draw the foul, the contact, and get to the line.
Yeah, definitely see why you highlighted Hooks and that call-up move on bringing her up from the freshman team.
Well, she's one of the prospects. Honestly, Marcus, if she'll continue to work on the range, you know, the missed free throw there, a couple of missed three-pointers, if she gets to the point, oh, wow, that's a tough call. I mean, maybe she leaned, but that's about as good a screen as you can set at your Victoria Gaines. You got to get a show or edge on that before Hooks gets knocked out. But to finish my thought on Hooks, if she'll continue to work and add a jumper, a consistent jumper the way that Murphy has, Ali Patberger 2015, who's out in Colorado right now, some of those the floor, even the kid who manned this position for them last year, Kelsey Mitchell, and force defenses to have to worry about that, she's going to be a problem for years to come.
That's Rice no good on that attempt. Cooper going to be fouled there by Rice. And it's still just a 6-point game. I mean, you know, we talked about the road ahead for this All-Ohio Black team while they're looking to compete here this year, you know, really, you know, being able to build for the future. And going up against this gym rat squad and the way they played to still only be down 6.
Well, J.B. Bethea just does such a good job of coaching his kids. You know, you look at every time out and knowing when. You know, we call these TV games obviously because it's being broadcast. Knowing that in a TV game early in the second half, he can't afford to wait the way that Danny Rago can wait. That's not really going to be the way he can coach this game. So he deadens it on a 6-0 run, timeout. You never let this group get discouraged with where they are. And he's done a really, really good job of that, setting themselves up now for the back-end run of the Nike League play in July. They'll actually start the summer with us at Peach State Summer Kickoff July 6th and 7th. So looking forward to having them involved with that. And then they'll be back again for the Peach State Summer Invitational 23rd to the 25th.
Summer Invitational, I believe that was the event where we had that huge matchup of All Ohio Black versus Paris Key.
Yes.
And
the beauty of that was it was a semifinal, and then we came back the next day with All Ohio versus AOT in the championship game, and that was easily one of the better events that we've had a chance to cover together, Marcus, of ours. I mean, just great, and that field for Summer Invitational is shaping up to be another headliner. San Antonio's finest, Ray Caldwell, Amber Ramirez leading the way for them this year. Heroes with Joyner Holmes that I just mentioned, who made the Olympic team, will be there as well. Northwest Blazers got the word in the Pacific Northwest. They're coming over. Taya Cooper will be back involved with Central Florida leading Destiny Walker. So no shortage of highlights there, man.
Looking forward to it as we're approaching the final minute of this game. Going to be a foul there. That's going to send Darby Maggart to the free throw line. Coming back into the game for All Ohio, number 20, Michaela Cobb.
Cobb is giving them some good minutes today. Oh, a rare miss from Maggard. Boy, she doesn't miss much of anything, let alone a free throw. And gets it right back. It's exactly what you would expect from Darby Maggard. The rare miss, and then literally within 5 seconds, let me take that back my way.
Sorry, I had to go get it. We highlighted the fact that Coach Riego's team, they're essentially here 7 deep. And it doesn't look like they're suffering the ill effects of fatigue at this point, as they're not too far away from having a spot, the first spot here in the Elite Division Championship.
Well, they just do such a good job of wearing you down. You know, I said that in the beginning, just how calm Danny was able to be, knowing that he's got faith in this team, their ability to make shots over the course of a 32-minute game, all the things that go along with that. And you watched it kind of play out, especially I thought the run for them, honestly, was between about the 12-minute mark and the 6-minute mark here in the second half. They were able to stretch that thing and get it to about 8 or 9 going into the last 5 minutes. And at that point, it's just too much. Yeah. You know, for them to get an 8 or 9 point lead on you, it really, unless you've got some shooters, some kids that can really just knock it down, you got to have 3 or 4 kids that can really, really score it in order to come back on them when they have that kind of lead.
Yeah. 30-second timeout by All Ohio. So we're going to pause for station identification. When we get back, we'll bring you the final 25 seconds. And we are back to the action. Murphy with it.
I love the way she was able to get her body in front of Rice. That's that playground pickup stuff. When you get your body in front of somebody, Kelsey Mitchell did that as well as any young lady I've ever seen in the 12 years that I've been doing this. Yeah. Put your behind on them. You feel them, you feel them, you feel them. She ran by her and she just pulls up and knocks down that sweet little 5-foot jumper there.
Yeah, I love that period, but especially in this type of setting, the summer setting, to where it's, you know, more emphasis on playing through the contact. You're not going to get the ticky-tack call, so, you know, put your body in a position where they got to come through you to keep you from getting the bucket.
No question.
Sierra Hooks with it for All Ohio. Hooks continuing to attack.
Oh, boy. Her ability to get into the lane and make plays with Forsman literally right there contesting, you know. Hands are up. I mean, Darby Forsman, Jay Billis out here with the wingspan probably of about 6'9", and her ability to finish through that wingspan and even a little bit of contact has been really impressive.
It'll be fun to watch the development of Sierra Hooks. It looks like they're going to come up just short today.
I'll tell you what, though, been a great effort. I mean, the type of effort you expect from a J.B. Bethea coach team, no question.
Yeah. So Maggard knocks down the first free throw. Coach Bethea doing a great job with the Midwest Showdown, as always. One of the funner events to be a part of. It's been a Memorial Day weekend staple for us. Cooper gets the offensive rebound. And she's going to be fouled there by Myers. Myers playing to the last whistle.
Put Cooper back here on the line. Setting up a nice little championship matchup, man, here at 11:30.
That matchup will be between Michigan Crossover and the Indy Lady Gem Rats. First free throw missed by Cooper. And that's going to do it. So The Indy Lady Gym Rats advancing to the Elite Division Championship here at the Midwest Showdown. They'll take on Michigan Crossover, and we'll see you back here on SUV TV for that one. I'm Marcus Burnett. He's Brandon Clay, signing off here. Thanks for joining us.